What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm joined by Afro, and today we're going to kind of break down everything. Give me another one of those yeses.
Yes! That one kind of hurt my intake. Let's get it going, though.
Shout out to people who are watching this video with their headphones on. Today we want to kind of give you a breakdown of everything, what to expect and what not to expect. Basically, the highs and lows of the expectations, the good expectations, I don't know, words with DLC 4. So, in case you guys missed the live stream, it was very interesting. DLC 4 is, okay, to kind of describe it, DLC 4 is, do you have a good analogy for it? It's like...
Okay, let's say DLC 3 was like a bag of joy that made the game feel so fresh because how Goku Black was and Zamasu was. It was so...
Right.
Right? So with DLC Pack 4, we kind of got a combination of both of that with their merged Zamasu. Then we have Vegito Blue, who's like, so in return, like, I guess you could say DLC Pack 3 was like an In-N-Out burger. Then DLC Pack 4 was if you gave me the ingredients to the In-N-Out burger and I made it myself. It's like we have, you know, two versions of the same thing, just it was made by somebody else for the second one. You get it? It's not the exact same, but it's okay.
Like, looking at DLC 4 from the outside, I thought it was going to completely crush DLC 3, but at this point, I don't think it's going to. Now, DLC 4 is still good. It's just that DLC 3 breathes so much life into the game. Like, the first time I picked up Rose, after, you know, getting DLC 2, which we're not going to talk about, you know, the first time you play Rose, it's like, oh my god, this game is awesome. On top of that, they had a bunch of patches that fixed a bunch of balances and good stuff. DLC 3 was beautiful. Now DLC 4, it's like it has so much potential to completely crush DLC 3 as far as content and quality, but they dropped the ball on a couple things. Now to kind of break down everything you can expect, let me just kind of give you a quick summary. As always, there's two updates. I believe sometime around Monday night, you're going to get the free update, which is going to be a compatibility patch, which will allow you basically to play against players who have the paid DLC. And in this free patch, there's going to be balances, which I don't know what they are yet. I try to get the list, but even Bandai doesn't know yet, so we're going to go blindly on that one. When I find out, I'll do another video on it. You'll also get 2 new variations of Goku. One variation of Goku is kind of useless just because they didn't give him Kaioken Blue, but he does have backflips, so it'll give you a different way of playing as Goku. But the other variation of Goku, you know, it's funny. I was talking to, I think it was, I was talking to Lotus, and we were just laughing how it's like Goku was already so overpowered and crazy and just destroying people. They made him even more overpowered because now he has Sledgehammer. And yeah, it's gonna hurt to face off against players with that Goku, but it is what it is. You know, that just gives us a reason to get better against those players. So we gotta learn to, you know, fight the Gokus of the world. Then they added a new Vegeta, which I really like. By the way, the Goku and Vegeta are in their original gi, which is cool. You got Goku in his actual gi outfit, and then you got Vegeta in a Saiyan armor, which is something that we wanted for a long time. So I'm glad they gave us that. And by the way, the Vegeta is awesome. On top of that, he has Wild Hunt.
Yeah, which is really fucking cool to see with the Super Saiyan Blue as well.
Yes. It looks beautiful. Then they added Trunks. They added a sweater Trunks, which he looks nice, but he's kind of basically the same version as the first Trunks. I don't know if people are going to really use him that much because the second Trunks is the better one. Yeah. Now, this is the part that hurt me and Afro. We walked in, you know, preparing for the stream. We sat down. The first thing we see, what was missing? What was missing? Say it.
Super Saiyan Rage.
Yeah, and we literally sat down like, bruh, like literally, bruh.
Like,
however, there is an Easter egg with it. Yes, he didn't get Super Saiyan Rage. He has the Sword of Hope. Yeah. And the Sword of Hope is like a pseudo awakening. It's an ultimate attack, so you can still transform into Super Saiyan 2 with him. But the way it works is when you bust out the Sword of Hope, it's like a pseudo awakening where you have super armor, you have the ability to use different varieties of slashes with the Sword of Hope, and then you can do like a finisher, which is like absolutely awesome. It's the attack that he used against Zamasu at the end of the arc. That right there made up for lack of Super Saiyan Rage. However, it's still like the idea that there's no Super Saiyan Rage was kind of it was just like it kicked us both in the balls because like they promoted when the initial screenshots came out, they promoted Super Saiyan Rage. I remember that screenshot first showed up because we're all like speculating whether or not this is going to be in the game, and then they dropped the screenshot of Trunks going into Rage. We all assumed, oh snap, Super Saiyan Rage confirmed. Yes. And then turned out it was turned out it was again Jutsu from Japan, and yeah. Now I will point this out though. I did send a huge email to Bandai, which covered 3 major aspects. I'm sure there's a lot that needs to talk about, but this is specifically for this release, so give me a break. The first aspect was Super Saiyan Rage. I told them what they should do is just add some blue auras into it, and change the name to Super Saiyan Rage, and you know make the peoples go white, and we can accept that because then basically it's going to be Super Saiyan Rage essentially, and I think that would add a nice touch to it. Now I don't know if this is going to actually happen. It's out of our power. It's out of Bandai's power. This is all on Dim's hands now. And the way I see it is I feel like that could be done easily. All you got to do is add some blue aura into it, change the name, bam, Super Saiyan Rage, basically. The Sword of Hope, though, is what makes up for the character, and it's super fun to play as. Like, it's hard to use because it's kind of different. The mobility goes down with it, but you have super armor. You can get grabbed out of it, by the way. You can get grabbed out of it.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. Because I remember we were on stream, and I'm like, yo, we for sure can't get grabbed out of it. And surely enough, you grabbed me as if it wasn't even in it. Or was it, I grabbed you, vice versa, whichever the fuck. It was grabbed as if, you know, it wasn't even going on.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yeah, but if you learn how to use it the right way, you're going to do some crazy damage with it. And it, like I said, it makes up for the fact that they didn't give us Super Saiyan Rage. Now, keep in mind, I have like a small gut feeling that the build that we played wasn't completely done yet. I mean, for example, when we were actually doing a stream, there was a part during a cutscene where there was like a thing covering it.
Yeah.
And if you guys remember, when we did, you know, DLC 3, Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black had 3 moves, but the final version had 4 moves. So they told us this is the final build, but I don't know how likely it is. Now, that's not me saying that this is going to be different when it releases, because for all we know, what we played and saw is what we're going to get. Obviously, without the fact of the cutscene being glitched out in the actual story mode aspect of it. But I'm like crossing my fingers that what we saw wasn't the final one. The next one, which is the big one, is the Tails. Okay. Now, initially,
how are we going to approach this, though? I'm curious.
Yeah, let me jump into it. So, we didn't see the Tails initially, because the first thing I figured what I was going to do is unlock everything so you guys can see the costume, the Super Saiyan 4 costume, which, by the way, the Super Saiyan 4 costume is unlocked from the newest parallel quest. So Super Saiyan 4 costume comes with the paid part of DLC Pack 4, which you unlock by doing a parallel quest. Everything else is going to be unlocked, I guess, via the TP Metal Shop. I only managed to unlock the Majin Mark, which costs 40 TP Metals, and so I assume all the other accessories cost somewhere around there. The Ultimates cost 200 TP Metals, and I think the Super Attacks cost around 70, so you'll probably need a bunch of medals to unlock everything. So get to grinding. Again, Expert Mission 17 is going to give you a breakdown on everything. But the Saiyan Tails, they hurt us both because they didn't move. They were just there. Now, initially we thought, well, maybe if we go into battle, you know, it'll change. No, they're still just there. Yeah.
And we tried with Super Saiyan 2 to see if it would change like the color of it, or at least the Great Ape chest piece that it had. And
no, it didn't.
the detail factor was just not there.
I mean, the thing that people were saying online is, well, no accessory in the game has moved thus far, so it's to be expected, which is fine, yeah. But the thing is like, the one thing that the fan base wanted the most was the Saiyan Tails. Since Xenoverse 1, personally, I never understood the love for the Saiyan Tails. You know, I wasn't a big fan of Ultimate Tenkaichi, which is where I assumed the Saiyan Tails stuff kind of the meta started from, because you could get that in that game. But with this, just seeing that, I was like, that sucks, man. Like, yeah, I had one job. Now, what I ended up saying in my email to Dims, well, to Bandai, to forward to Dims, was, look, it's fine. If you can't get to Anime and Content City, whatever. At least copy and paste the tail that's connected to Super Saiyan 4 Goku or Super Saiyan Kid Goku and animate that. So it's like, if the tail's animated in the fight, whatever, you know, we can accept it. But the fact is, from what we saw, it didn't animate it at all. So again, I don't know if this is the final version of the build, or that's going to change, or if they're going to patch later, or if they're just going to completely ignore it. But I feel like, you know, we as the fans of the game, especially those who really wanted it, we finally get it, but it's kind of like a slap in the face is how we saw it. And it sucks, because, like, I know how badly you guys wanted it. And, like, you know, we fought for it, and it didn't move.
Yeah.
It hurt me.
Yeah. I mean, with the fact that we have a possibility of hope for it to move, I feel like that enough is good to bank on.
Basically, what we talked to Bandai is if there's going to be enough backlash, which, by the way, there's a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be enough for them to change it. You know, whether they patch it down the line, they patch it pre-release. Again, I gave them the formula for success. Like, at least make it move in fights. Because, like, if it's moving in fights, at least that looks kind of nice. But, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Again, a lot of times the emails that we send to Bandai, which then gets forwarded to Japan, to Dims, sometimes nothing happens with it. You know, other times it does. You know, the Super Saiyan 4 costume and the Majin Mark came from us, like our community. We submitted that literally a year ago, and we finally got it. Just it wasn't complete up to par, which sucks. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the paid DLC. So as far as the paid DLC, what you're going to get is you're going to get Zamasu and Vegito Blue. Both of these characters I actually really like. There's one change that I requested for Vegito, and that is that they actually get the colors right on the attacks. For example, the Spirit Sword is supposed to be yellow, and the final Kamehameha is supposed to be a blue wave with like yellowish lightning aura around it. Which they kind of got the inverse. Right now, if you do final Kamehameha, it's a yellow wave with lightning around it, blue lightning, and the Spirit Sword obviously is blue. So I kind of requested if they can change that to make it more accurate to the anime. And again, I feel like that's an easy job, but again, I'm not a developer, so I can't really speak on that. So again, fingers crossed there that they do, you know, add that in before it gets released or patch it down the line. So that's something else I sent in. As far as everything else, You're going to get a bunch of new moves. So the weird one is you know, initially modders a while ago found, you know, a bunch of files for Zamasu for mentor thing. But they haven't said anything about mentors for Zamasu. I haven't seen it in the paid DLC or free DLC. So I don't know if they're saving that for later, which could be a hint and more to come, or what the deal is. Because, I mean, modders found literally like training dialogue and stuff for Zamasu, as well as, you know, they flagged all the attacks that Zamasu had in DLC 3 as attacks that we can learn later. Which, by the way, you can also learn Trunks' Burning Strike as a free move in DLC 4 as well. So, like, it's like, so the DLC is great. It's just they dropped the ball on so many little things that are like, it's like, well, we got this, but it's like,
then we have this.
Yeah. I mean, I think you nailed an analogy. It's like DLC 3 was in and out the first time, and then the DLC 4 was the first time you try to make in and out with your ingredients. It doesn't quite taste like in and out, but it's still a burger.
Yeah.
So, as far as my favorite parts of it, I am a huge fan of Trunks edition as well as the Goku and Vegeta stuff. Goku and Vegeta just look really, really nice.
They really do. They really do.
Yeah, and like, you know, again, that's one of those things which I never really like looked into and thought like that was a big deal. But after seeing both of these characters in action, on top of that, seeing Vegeta have Wild Heart was beautiful. I kind of wish that they would have given us a new Ultimate Attack with Vegeta, like the one that he did on Goku Black, but they didn't. But again, it's free DLC, so what can we really say? I feel like that's how they view it sometimes. It's like, well, you know what?
It's
I can't
free.
complain. Yeah, it's free. Yeah. And then other times you get people who are like, well, the free is better than the paid. Well, it's like, hey, you don't have to buy the paid one, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's like, what did you think? What's the like last word on it, I guess?
My last word on it, in hindsight, you know, even though like the burger analogy fits so well, I mean, it's a great piece of DLC. Like, Zamasu's really fun, Vegito's really fun, and granted, even though it was kind of flaky on the tail aspect and just mainly the tail aspect, and kind of Trunks if you want to put it like that, what we got is fun. It's still fun to play with, and we have a chunk of stuff to make you at least feel like your money is worth. That's my opinion.
And by the way, all the moves that the characters get in these games, you're going to get added to you. So you can learn all the Zamasu supers and ultimates. What I like about Zamasu's attacks is when you do the supers like the Lightning Absolution and the Blades, you get the little halo that pops up behind you, and I think that's a nice little touch. So you can actually learn all that for your custom created character as well. And we finally got Majin logo, the little mark. I kind of wish that they would have added more to it, like, you know, veininess and stuff like that, and the dark underneath the eyes. But I mean, at least we got the Sharpie M.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a good DLC. It just they didn't properly fully execute. And again, I'm hoping that with the backlash that's been received, which trust me, they know, they know.
Yeah.
I hope that Dims does the right thing here and either adds a patch to it either at some point in the future or pre-release. But we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, usually when it comes down to when we send stuff to Japan, well, we send it to Bandai US and then they forward to Japan. And a lot of times they don't even get an answer back. We know when something happens when we see it patched, basically. Because I remember, like, initially with Rose, when I found out that he was going to be a Goku reskin, I sent them that huge essay, like a write-up on like what they need to do with Rose, and I got nothing. I got nothing back. It's like, okay, well, maybe they're not going to do it. And then all of a sudden they announced Rose, he's unique, he's got the blade. I was like, oh, snap, they actually listen. So it's one of those things that we just have to sadly wait and see what happens, and until it happens, we won't know what's going to happen. So
exactly.
Fingers crossed. So with that said, I guess the last thing I want to ask you guys, if you made it this far in the video, is from DLC Pack 4, what are you looking forward to the most from everything announced? And also to the downfalls, so for example, Rage Trunks not having the transformation, if that's actually the case, or also the lack of movable tails. Is that a huge deal for you? I guess let us know in the comment section below. Did you want to say something else?
I had one more thing to add. Now, this is like me talking to you from the past when you could actually do what I'm about to tell you to do, okay? Now, when me and Rhyme fought, he used the Sword of Hope, which is the transformation that Trunks had in replace of Super Saiyan Rage that we wish we had, right? Now, Rhyme did a combo on me, which was triangle, which to pierce me, and then X, was it? To, like, slash up, and it did a massive amount of damage, right? Now, I'm pretty sure I could find this out on my own when I get the DLC, but I want you guys as homework so you can look forward to the DLC. When you get the game, try to do that combination online and tell me how that works. You do triangle and X, and let me know, let us know in this video's comment section. Come back here, all right, and let us know, is the Sword of Hope actually useful? That's all that really matters.
You just wanted to say that.
That's kind of, but at the same time, I'm curious to see how their take is on it.
Well, before we end the video, I want to explain how the sword works. So when you transform, which, by the way, if you see someone pulling a sword out, Burst Rush. For the love of God,
Yeah.
burst dash into them and break the stamina. Otherwise, they're going to have super armor that you can't break unless you grab them. So keep in mind, when the sword is out, just grab them to get them out of it. When you have the sword out, if you press square, you do a regular set of slashes. If you press circle, you do like a spinny. If you press triangle, you dash into them. And then X, if you press X, that's like the finisher, and that also ends the mode. So basically what you want to do is when you pull the sword out, you want to get a couple slashes in, dash into it, and then press X to connect it, and then that's it. If you connect that, it's going to do crazy damage. So again, Sword of Hope, I feel like it's going to be a fanfare to a lot of people when you play with it. Again, to those who are mad about Super Saiyan Rage, when you actually hop in with that new variation on Trunks and use that sword, you're going to forget about it. But then again, I'm hoping that they, do take my feedback that I sent into them and they do add the blue aura to the Super Saiyan transformation, because then that's at least something. But again, I won't know until it comes out or until a patch later. So yeah. So anyways, let us know in the comment section below on everything we discussed. To those who are excited, I guess I'll see you guys in the battlefield in a couple of days, because we're still going to be playing it. To those who don't care, well, I guess now let's see what happens in the future. Because again, with the fact that Zamasu's files are in the game, but he didn't get released as a mentor, that's weird. I don't know if they just couldn't get it to work right or what the deal is, but like literally all his training stuff was there. All the moves were flagged as custom created character moves, but we didn't see anything. And for all we know, when the DLC actually comes out, then they'll show off that Zamasu and everything is there, because they haven't really said anything. So yeah. Anyway, so if you are hyped for Xenoverse 4, Xenoverse 2, DLC Pack 4 still, leave a like in the comment, let us know your thoughts and everything, and I guess we'll just see you guys in the comments, because I'm sure you have a lot to say about this.
Yes.
Hope you guys enjoyed us today. This has been Afro and Rhymestyle. We'll see you guys next time.